Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 43 of This Disc is Great with Steve and Nate. We're back again, doing another review for you guys. What do we have this week, Steve?
We've got Discmania's new C-Line PDX.
So the PDX is a disc that came out kind of a while ago, but it was like a limited edition, like Paul Macbeth fundraiser thing. There's the ones that are like half Jaguar, half Paul Macbeth, like McBeast stamp. So the disc has been in existence for a while, but we just got our hands on it as retailers a couple months ago, so that's why it's new. If you're new to the show, what we do here is we take new release discs, like the PDX, out to a field, chuck it a bunch of times, and then we review it for you. So we'll give people a couple more seconds to jump on. Steve, why don't we talk about the sweet sale that we have going on right now?
So, along with all of our other hipster entities that we like to do, we now have hipster pandas. We've got hipster panda defenders. We've got the EMAC, right?
Yep.
We got the EMAX, Lucid EMAC. That's a fusion defender. Biofusion defender. And we've got some judges. These are
Prime Burst.
Really nice Prime Burst plastic. I think these are probably one of the cooler ones that we've done.
Yeah.
Were these the ones that were misprinted, or was it just those few that
There were three. We got three misprints in
Okay.
that were double stamped, but they looked better than all of the normal.
Yeah, they just had a little more edge to it. It gave it almost a 3D look.
Yeah.
It was.
I have one on my wall that was a EMAC Truth that was double stamped with red and blue. It looks 3D. So those have been on sale for a little bit, but they have an official sale going on right now. You get a free Disc Store bottle opener with the purchase of any of those hipster panda discs. These are pretty sweet. I've got one on my keychain. They work really well. They come in black or silver. They're shaped like a disc golf basket. There, you can see them a little bit better. But they're pretty cool. They are free. Normally $6.89, but they are free with the purchase of a hipster panda disc. So those are going fast. There are only 50 of each mold, so there's not a ton.
Oh.
And we've sold like probably almost 100 of them, so there's only 50 total probably left. So check those out while you can. And then Dismember, before we get into it, when you talk about Dismember, we'll pop that preview up there. This is what you're getting in Dismember this month. So make sure you sign up. What all we got disc golf wise in there, Steve?
This is a good month. First off, we've got the newly released, this is the V2 of Prodigy's H1. This is their kind of Firebirdy, really
Criminal.
overstable. These are your overstable fairway almost into your high-speed driver. But they redone it, and then we've got Will Schustrick, who has created a really cool instruction video. That's his stamp that you have on the disc, including a little disc member symbol, right? It's got to have some disc member in there. But so with the disc, you get a cool beanie. You also get the UDisc subscription, the pro subscription, just
Which is
for
what we
being
use for the show.
a disc member. And then you're going to get access to kind of like the first segments of Will's instruction videos.
You get the beginner series for free for life, and he's going to add some more content in there, I think. And then you'll get either the advanced or the pro for half off. So it's a pretty good deal. Also, you get a sticker, and then Ultimate gets all the pizza stuff. So that'll be sweet. Check out Dismember. There should be a link in the comments. Comments are over there, I think. So check out the comments for a link.
There's a link on the website now too.
Oh yeah, we finally got that. I don't know
saw that
why
today.
it took us 8 months to do that,
Oh, well.
but we have it. All right, so we've probably got a decent chunk of people on already. So why don't we go ahead and just get into the review?
All right. Like I said, this is Discmania's C-Line PDX. This thing is pretty fast. The coveted Discmania PDX brings together the best of two worlds. The speed and overstability of Discmania's meat hook driver PD2 and the controllability and versatility of Discmania's possibly best known all-around pro-level driver, the PD. The PDX is perfect hybrid of these two crowd favorites. It's designed to perform reliably in all wind conditions, both backhand and sidearm. It's an extra click of speed compared to the original PD, and the base of its design comes from the highly praised first run of the C-Line PD. Reinvent your game with a new member of the PD family.
Now, I hadn't read that description before. When you call it the love child of a PD and a PD2, yeah, I could see that.
Now that I read it, it does make sense because we didn't throw this that far.
We'll see.
But
spoilers,
it was
Steve,
good with
spoilers.
weight. It's really good. It's a
Why don't you throw out some numbers there?
Speed of 11. It's pretty fast. Glide of 4. Not the biggest number, but it's not a 2. It's not a 3. We've got 0 turn. This disc, 0 turn. And a fade of 3. So this is pretty
beefy.
Pretty fast,
So,
pretty unstable.
what numbers wise does that remind you of? I'm going to get up here and give you a closer look at the disc itself. So numbers wise, Steve, what does that kind of remind you of?
I would say it's close to Wraith.
I think Wraith is 11.5, -1.3.
Yeah.
So it's really close to a Wraith. It's kind of the opposite end of a Wraith of the CD3 that we threw a little while back.
There you go.
I guess I should flip that stamp right side up. So it's got a pretty decent sized rim. Whoop, lost the camera. All right, anyway, so we still have audio, right? It'll come back. But yeah, so it's Wraith is a good example, like a slower Excalibur, slower PD2. What's some other good ones? Machete. Do you remember the Machete last year?
Oh yeah.
It's close to that. It's not the Criminal. It's not quite a Criminal, but pretty close to the Machete from last year. So it's going to be fast and it's going to be pretty stable. Yeah, let's once we get that camera focused back up, let's go ahead and get into some videos. So we, I'm sure somebody will ask. We take out the 2 closest to max weight ones that we can to go throw, so it's consistent from video to video. So these are 175 C-line PDXs. Did you notice a difference between the two? Are they pretty much similar to you?
I did not notice a difference, Nate.
Nope.
These were extremely consistent, and you'll get to see that
All right, let's check out some shots.
in the shots.
Oh yeah, before we get to the shots, hold on, pause a second. We give away a bunch of stuff in this series, so we will give away both of these discs that we threw for the review, and then I'm going to give away. We've had these sitting around the shop for a while, and no one's bought one in ever since I've been here.
Not since I've been
So
here.
this is a disc golf fundamentals video done by Ken Climo and Dave Felberg, who have like 16 world titles between them. So we're going to give this away and 2 of these. The pink PDX is going to go to whoever guesses the farthest backhand distance. You have to guess Nate or Steve, and then how far, and then you'll win this. And then some random commenter will win something, and then somebody who makes a really good comment or asks a good question will win something. We'll decide when we get there. But yeah, let's check some stuff out.
I feel betrayed.
Well, I threw a bigger spike hyzer than you did this time. I mean, that's all of the hyzer.
Yes,
All of the hyzer.
you've learned well.
So that's kind of a shot I'd see this disc getting used for. It's going to get thrown on those hard hyzer lines because if you're throwing that, you don't want it to come out, and this isn't going to. There's 0 flip up in that flight. Just held that hyzer the whole way. 303 on a spike hyzer with something this stable. That's kind of what I expect.
Doing its job.
That's a pretty big skip for the angle it hit on.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
So it's skippy. Yeah, let's check out some more throws.
I'm so glad the snow's gone, though.
Yeah. This one's high.
That's
I
very
wasn't
high.
happy with that. But look at that skip. There we go, 320. So again, on a pretty big swooping hyzer, especially something that high, 329 is pretty much what I'm going to hit with the similar disc that I throw to this. Actually, I don't throw anything very similar to this, honestly. Yeah, that's kind of the distance I'm expecting on that high of a hyzer. Controlled spike stuff, it's a shot that you can use a lot. That's all I got to say about that.
So we got the tiny hyzer comparatively.
Still 0 flip up.
Yeah, this disc is gonna stay. It's gonna go here, and it's never going to go anywhere above that, where there's no turn. This is going to fade out. Really trustworthy disc. So 328, not the highest shot, but I would say as a penetrating 328 feet, this I'm seeing a spot for it.
Yeah. Now this is the nicer day when we get to rip. There's a little bit of headwind on this day. We have to rip on it a little more. We were in a little bit better form.
So that didn't turn. I just got it to stay on that straight line from the camera angle, and it always comes back.
Yep.
Always comes back.
Big hyzer. Those guys were never in any danger.
Yeah, especially once they hit around 250, I was just like, I think we're good. Because it wasn't going to turn over.
All right, let's see if we can't throw some flatter shots here. All right, that's just a baby hyzer, just a little bit.
It is
so that kind of held straight for a little bit longer. But I'm going to come back to it again. Look at that skip.
And that was when the ground was kind of wet.
Yeah.
So maybe it was a little slick, but I think that disc is really just...
Yippee. So, I mean, that's something overstable like this is going to give you that skip game, which, I mean, there's places where you need it, where you can't throw all the way in the air to places where you need that big skip. And this is going to do it for you. Giant skips. All right. There we go. That's flat. And that's dead straight. There's no turn. And this, we probably had 15-mile-an-hour headwind here.
I remember.
It was pretty windy. The windiest we've ever thrown in, but we had to get it done, so we did it anyway.
We had the disc to do it.
Yeah, this is the disc I would want to, and we threw the ABR X3 and the Ballista Pro, so all the things that handle the wind well. So as hard as I can throw it flat, it stayed flat for probably 275 and then started fading right on out. Hold straight, and then woof. Yeah, you see that where the wind got it. Bump, doom. 350. I was anytime this got out that far, I was pretty happy with myself. So that's kind of what I would use this disc for, is range control. Like if I need to, same kind of thing you use my defenders for. If I need to not go too far, I throw those. Same thing with my stable orc. I throw it when I need to not go too far. That's what I would throw this for.
Almost an aim small, miss small kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. Also flat, and this one's super low under the wind. That flight path, can we watch that again? That was weird.
I think it went a little farther. Just couldn't see it all the way.
I think you might have missed some skips in there.
Don't know. I don't think so.
Go back and watch it again. I'm gonna watch closer on this screen.
It's flat.
Huh. All right. Anyway, hard and flat. It went really straight and faded out at the end. Got low under the wind. 352. That's where this is going. Let's take I think I got some anhysers in here, or maybe Steve got one in there. Who knows? All right. So now I'm throwing this. I'm trying to throw it far. I'm putting a lot of angle on that, and
Jeez.
It held it for a little bit,
Yeah.
and then no, it was done. So this is something you can throw if you need something that will not turn over no matter what you do. If you've got ripping headwinds or you just got to throw a flex shot, this is not going to, unless you've got Simon Eagle power, it's not turning over. It's going to flex right on out really, really reliably. And crash. So yeah, you need to go far left, or in Steve's case, far right. It does its job. I think we got one more backhand. Oh, nope, on to sidearms. So, if you were paying attention, 361 was the fart of the sidearm. Evan's going to find us our winner while we talk about some sidearm shots here. Longest backhand. 361 was the longest backhand. So that is a little hyzer, which is not really the way you want to release this disc, and it's super high. And the wind said no. It tried, and then the wind shot it right on down. So not the best forehand. Well, let's see if we get any better ones.
So, dude, that was
Almost hit
awesome.
Reese
That
in
was
the face.
awesome. The funny part is he was walking into the hyzer, so
I thought you had it flipped. I thought you were turning it.
well, he forgets I'm left-handed, so that might have been it. But I felt really comfortable with this disc, knowing I wasn't going to turn it over. I had a couple where I really rolled the wrist, and I was like, "Oh, come on, dude," you know. So actually, that might have been one where I was like, "Dude, throw me the disc. I'm going to redo these shots." And 242 into a headwind, I was pretty happy with that, especially with this overstable of a disc.
Yeah. Let's see what else we do here. That one's flat and not as high in the air, but the wind is bouncing it around. But the wind didn't turn it over. That's the thing, is it's stable enough. That's a fun line. We should watch that line again.
Look at the bounce at the end there.
Whoop! And there it goes. But yeah, it's super overstable, so it's really reliable. I mean, I might even give it more than the 3, honestly. It's pretty overstable. I was having to work it to get it anywhere. So it's really reliable, great, controlled in the wind, even though anything's going to get bounced around in the gusty wind that we had. But it didn't turn over, it didn't do anything crazy, it faded like it's supposed to. There's a nice flex shot.
Yeah, that's. I think that was another one where I was like, "Dude, give me that back." I think I realized what needs to happen. So, got Annie on it. Moved out a little bit. I'd say it's more of the wind pushing it than anything. There's no turn in this disc. Nice fade, 256. As long as I've hit 250 with the flick, I've done what I set out to do.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a 400-foot forehand to at least be successful. If you have, in my case, I have a 350, consistent 350 backhand with certain discs. So if I had a bad tee shot and then that 250 left can get me, then we're all good.
Wasn't laughing at you, Steve. I'm laughing at Frank Reynolds and his comment.
Okay. I was gonna feel really bad. It's like, you don't believe I could throw 350?
Not with a forehand, no.
No, not a forehand.
I don't believe that.
No.
You're right. All right, I think I throw some pretty hard Anheisers here to finish this out. All right, that's probably about the same with Steve's. And again, into a little bit of a headwind.
Reese are putting in work, running after it.
I love this as a sidearm disc. It's a phenomenal sidearm disc. It's got the kind of stability that I want to really torque on it and flex. It's not going to be my my strikes will go for more distance, but I've got to be a little more touchy with them. This I can just hammer on, and I know it's going to go straight for a little while and then really reliably fade out.
Would you use this around Opie Lake during GBO?
I don't know that I have a lot of 280-foot sidearm shots out there. But, I mean, yeah, I know what it's going to do.
Just wind.
Yeah. Yes.
Wind fighter.
All right, so 283 is a pretty solid sidearm. I mean, my sidearm maxes out at like 320 with far discs. So, so how do you feel about the numbers, Steve? 11,403. How do you feel about are they close, completely off? What do you think?
It really was deceiving in the wind, but the amount of fade we were getting seemed like it was more than 3.
Yeah.
Like a Firebird is a 3 fade. It's not as fast, but it really, even at a 3, the Firebird seemed to be crashing.
I mean, you're throwing Sexton Firebirds.
I don't care. I've got other Firebirds, but this one was just really getting out of the air. I don't know if that really would be the glide or if it would be the fade,
it's
but
the fade.
I felt like the fade.
Yeah, I mean, 11 speed's pretty spot on. I mean, that's basically off the rim. I mean, 10 or 11 is kind of arbitrary. 4 glide, I think it's pretty solid. And 0 turn, spot on. There's no turn. And it's not fading super hard right away, so it's not positive turn. But you could go 3. I mean, if Discmania did halves, maybe this is a 3.5. because 4 is a little much probably, but 3 is a little not enough. So maybe 3.5. How do you feel about it feel-wise in your hand?
It does have a bit of a sharper edge, since it does have that PD2 PD flat top and bottom. But other than that, it's not too big. Where I've kind of opened up my hand as of late. Where instead of pinching down here, I like how much I can really get a hold of the rim. So I really didn't mind it,
comfortable.
And it was real comfortable for the flick.
Yeah, it feels great as a
just fine
flick disc. So, if I bag this disc, that's what it would be for. Is for sidearms and just hyzers that I need to not go anywhere. Tomahawks. We were gonna film some, but it was super windy and we were kind of pressed for time. So headwind isn't the best tomahawk thing. It's probably small enough I could throw a thumber with it if I threw thumbers. But it's good. It's a great utility disc. It's not going to be your mashing distance discs unless you're Eagle. But it's got some really reliable stability. You guys saw the shots. It does what it does. I'd use it for distance control and then just some power sidearms.
Looks like we got a few questions.
Yeah, let's knock out some questions.
We'll go back to the beginning, and we have. Could you run through which Hipster Panda discs we have available?
Do you have those still,
We've got
Steve?
the Biofusion Defender. We have Lucid EMAC Truth, and then we've got the Classic Blend
Prime
Burst Judges.
And there are 50 of each total, so they're a pretty limited run. So get your hands on them. There are 150 total discs, and there's 50 of each of those. So 50 Biofusion Defenders, 50 Lucid EMACs, and 50 Prime Bursts Judges. They're going fast, so get a hold of those, and yeah, they're sweet. They're all molds that I throw, so that's why I grabbed those on purpose.
Brian G wants to know, how long is that hole at Aspen, assuming it's hole 7? You know how long
That is hole 7 at Aspen. What's the official footage on that? Do you know, Steve?
I would personally say more than 750, but I don't think it's 8.
No.
I measured it out there.
It's
it's a little over 620 or something like that.
That's what I thought. It was closer to 600. Because yeah, it's a 2-shot hole for me for sure. If you can see flip back to one of the. Can you flip back to a clip? Can you see that little tree right in the front there?
Let me switch it over to your.
Yeah.
Okay.
That little tree right in the front, somewhere around the middle of the screen there towards the top. It's 420 feet exactly. It's like 422. I've marked it a few times. So like my goal is to throw just past that tree, left or right side, and then pitch up to the hole. So it's a good 2-shot hole for sure. It's something I feel like I should 3 every time, but it's a good scoring separator because that's where you make mistakes on your upshot and you don't 3 it every time.
And that's what we usually do.
Speak for yourself.
Dylan wants to know, Steve, how many hats do you own?
Yeah, it's at least 10.
The trick is he doesn't own any of them. He just steals them from the store every
Such a lie. Hucket Bucket kind of bought these. They have 4 designs, so I have 3 of those. And then if I see something I like, I get it. I got that Nitro Circus one. That one's fun. But yeah, it's at least 10.
On sale at discstore.com?
Yeah, these
the
are
Hucket Bucket ones are. Yeah, that you can get that sweet hat.
They've
and
got
match Steve.
They've got the kind of like fisherman hat now too, with the full the full
it's
brim.
a Hucket Bucket hat.
Hucket Bucket hat. Jimmy, our basket winner from this month's
Jimmy.
raffle, he wants to know what's the best Tomahawk disc you've ever owned.
Oh.
I like to throw my Destroyer as a Tomahawk, and I've also thrown my Shrikes and my EMAC, and
No, he said best, not what have you thrown as a Tomahawk.
Well, that's
I've
what I'm
thrown
saying.
a lot of things as a Tomahawk. Doesn't mean they were the
I've
best.
thrown them. I've never used it in a competitive setting unless I was totally messing around.
I used to throw for distance Tomahawks. I threw a lot of not katanas, Excaliburs, the other end of the spectrum.
Yes.
I used to throw a lot of Excaliburs, and that's when I could throw 275 Tomahawks consistently every time. And I used it for that. I used it for I need to go 275 and no farther, I could rip a tomahawk and it would go that far. I was really reliable with my aiming on it. Then I messed up my shoulder, and I can do that, but I can do it like twice and then I'm dead.
We have another question. What's next? Would you use a thumber and a tomahawk?
Yeah, so I use it mostly these days to get out of trouble. If I'm in the woods stuck behind something, or if it's just the only line. But yeah, I used to use them for distance control, just for like, I know my tomahawk goes this far, so I throw it that far.
Back to the PDX, so just a couple more questions here real quick.
Yeah.
Daily Disc Golfer wants to know, would you recommend this disc to an intermediate players, and what would it replace, essentially?
This would be your most overstable
Yeah.
trick shot disc if you are having trouble throwing at least 300.
Yeah, for most intermediate players, I mean, there's the freak intermediate players who throw really far and just have no control. For most intermediate players, I would say that this is going to be a nice addition to your bag from a, like, for super windy days, for shots where you need to go super around. The same thing that I keep my criminal for. I have a criminal in the bag that only comes out of the bag probably once every 3 rounds, and it's for super hard hooking shots one way or the other, or it's stupid windy and I need to not turn over. So for an intermediate player, that's kind of what you would use it for. So it would replace something like a criminal or an Excalibur or something along those lines.
We had one great question that came in we have to ask, is what is the difference between a tomahawk and a thumber? Can you show us on and how they fly?
Yeah.
Exactly on the camera?
So they fly the same, just opposite. And you can do a couple different angles with a thumber. So I throw a tomahawk with my same flick grip, and then I throw it, it's coming over this way.
So the top is down.
Top is down, and then you can play with the release angle and the flippiness of the disc to get it to turn sooner, later, those kind of things. But I throw it with a little bit lean back to get some extra power, and then just like a baseball. So I'm throwing it just like a baseball throw, and then that'll come out of my hand here, and then it'll flip, and then drop. So with an overstable disc, that's usually how much it flips. If you throw a flippier disc, you can get it to flip all the way over and land flat. Or if you're crazy stupid good at them, you can get them to fly straight. It's silly. And then a thumber is held with, let's get a little closer, your thumb on the inside rim of the disc, thrown similarly, but it's going to be over here, and it's going to flip the other direction. So depending on wind, the shape of the hole, one's better than the other. I had some friends who used to throw really low thumbers, and so he'd throw it low already. He'd release it here, so it would fly flat and then skip.
Turning corners.
For tunnel shots that need to turn corners. Yeah. If you're really accurate with them, they can do crazy things.
You want to do the giveaway, the winner of the guess?
Yeah, the pink PDX is going whoever got closest. I saw a couple that were really close. What was the farthest distance? 361?
362. Back in 362, and the closest without going over, George Hall. Guess back in 360.
Boom, that's
George
really
Hall
close.
getting the
Pink PDX. All right, we got one more really good question that I want to ask before we get here. Jack Conville, this one's easy. He asked, would it be a good disc for someone who throws a Boss 450? Yes, it's going to be a slightly shorter version of that. Okay. So you'll probably throw it like 375,
Is that
400.
internet 450?
That's a good question. All right, but Jennifer Zarnick asked a really good question. If we could only play with one disc, what disc would it be? I would personally go with something like a Verdict because it's a mid-range, so I can putt with it okay, and then I can still throw it 320, so I can get around most things with it. You got to pick, if you're picking one disc, you got to pick something you can kind of putt with.
I would go with my MD4 because I know where it's going right now.
Same thing.
I'm not sure with my EMAC right now, but the MD4 is completely predictable still. So that's my most predictable, good 300-foot range, but it's also nice touch for inside 100.
But that's about depending on the course. If it's a short course, I'll take a Judge.
Yeah.
And do that. But if I got to get some distance, I'll go Verdict.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple more. We got to give away a random commenter, and then one of these people asked a good question. So get me a random commenter, Mr. Reeser.
random comment. I'm just randomly going to pick one
Yep.
here. Boom. Frank Reynolds.
The most
Frank
winning.
Reynolds gets the thing.
Yeah, Frank Reynolds has some funny nicknames for his discs if you go read his comment. I'm not going to repeat it on the air, but it's funny.
He's got some funny nicknames.
So Frank Reynolds, you are going to win the DVD from Kenny Climo and Dave Feldberg. And then one of the people who asked us a good question, Reeser, pick us a question commenter and they will win that other PDX.
Jennifer Stars did a great question.
She won last week, so let's pick
did
someone
win
else.
last week?
Yeah.
I was unaware that she won. Okay. We'll do. Mark McGinnis asks, what's the difference between Tomahawk and Thumb?
That was a good question. Cool. So Mark, you win the other PDX. Good there. Frank Bennett on the Boss 450 question. He says that's not a question. That's bragging about how far you throw. It's a humble brag. That's what you call that. All right, guys, thanks for checking us out. Check out those hipster pandas. Check out dismember.com. We will be back soon. Kyle Forrest asked if we're looking forward to trying some things out. Well, the next 3 weeks, in no particular order, we have the AVR X3, the Ballista Pro, and the Explorer, and I was excited about all 3 of those. Yep. I have Rats on my desk to try out. We have the H3 V2. We have the H1 V2 coming in. We have the H5s. I have something else in the bag to try out. But we've got lots of stuff coming. So be on the lookout for all that stuff, and we'll see you guys soon.
Peace.